Hey Internet, some of you might know me, some of you might be new to my channel. There goes a car. That's a joke between my brother and I. Anyway, I'm taking you guys to the grocery store with me today. I asked the wife what she wanted for dinner, and she said pasta. So I took a mental inventory of what's in the cupboard. I've got some Italian seasoned tomatoes. I have some Parmesan cheese. There's butter, but I have no pasta and I have no protein out. So I'm gonna head over to the grocery store, take you guys with me, and show you how I shop. Made it here to the trusty duty local Harris Teeter. So upon inspection in the produce department, these are on sale this week. I'm gonna go with an orange one. That makes these about what, $1.67 a piece, give or take, for a beautiful orange pepper. Spinach, 2 for $5. And so I got a piece of chicken, $1.53. Alright, so this local Harris Teeter here does this. Buy 2, get 3 free, which means I can get 5 boxes of 1-pound spaghetti for about $3.60. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Something else that I regularly buy, get a 35-pack of water, $2.89. Alright, so all said and done, I got out of that grocery store for just a hair over 25 bucks. When we get back to the house, I will break down exactly what this meal is going to cost to prepare, and then I'll show you how to make it. Alright, so we've made it back to the kitchen. Go over a little bit here what the actual cost of this particular meal is. And to be honest with you, this bag of spinach was the most expensive thing. And I'm probably still going to have a half a bag of the spinach left when I get done with it, because I'm going to wilt about half of it down in with the angel hair pasta. So this was $2.50. This was $1.53. These were buy 2 get 3 free. When you do the math on that, this box of pasta ended up costing 71 cents. There's a can of tomatoes that I had that were 69 cents on sale. This pepper here, when you do the math, I think they were $3, or excuse me, they were 3 for $5, which comes down to $1.66 for the can of pepper. Bringing this meal, granted, I'm not including the garlic or the Parmesan cheese because those are things that are going to go into multiple dishes. So I would consider these a pantry item. But so anyway, a grand total here of $7.15. And if you do this right, this will feed 4 people. So I mean, that's, you know, that's less than $2 a head to have a nutritious, nutrient-packed meal. I mean, cook from scratch. All right, I'm gonna cut up this piece of chicken. All right, so once you get your chicken cut, of course, preheat your pan. This will be another pantry item. Not included in the price. That if you're cooking stuff in your kitchen, this is stuff that you should already have. I mean, you should have cheese, you should have basic seasonings, stuff like that. Anyway, I'm going to put that chicken in that oil. Once that oil gets hot, cook it. Yeah. Meanwhile, you can come back over here and cut your pepper. And you want to cut this pepper to about, I mean, if you need an eyeball, you want consistency in your size, open your can of tomatoes, you know, cut the pepper down to be about the same size as the peppers on the inside of the can. Excuse me, the tomatoes inside of the can. All right, now that I've got my chicken going in the pan, Montreal steak, what I'm going to put on this bad boy. Just a nice little coating. Don't do too much because there's actually salt in that, and it'll make your dish entirely too salty. If you use too much of it, you can add salt and pepper later, the sauce stage, once it gets to that point. So meanwhile, I'm going to let this cook. I'm going to catch up with you. When this is cooked, I'm going to start working on the pasta. I'm not going to bore you with boiling water. Catch you in a few. Alright, now if you see here, the chicken, I like to cook my chicken until it is fully dead. No chance of a salmonella whatsoever. To me, I don't know, I mean, like with my chicken wings, I fry my chicken wings until other people would think that they're not edible. You'll see how the chicken starts to get a nice little crust on the outside of it, and it makes it crunchy without having to bread it or add carbohydrates to an already high carbohydrate dish. So this is just about done. Once it's all evenly crispy and brown, I'm going to remove this pan from the heat, and I'm going to stick another pan right here in its place, where I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons of butter, a little bit of garlic, and I'll catch you at that step. One more thing. If you happen to be a vegan or a vegetarian, you can omit this chicken step, but if you do, you suck. And if you use tofu, throw it in the trash. That's where tofu belongs. In the trash. In the trash. Alright, now I'm standing here looking at my receipt. And my grocery store does a weekly evic. And you see that there? 14.5 ounce can of Harris Teeter tomatoes. Those are the tomatoes that I'm going to use in this that are regularly 69 cents. But if you look, I can go back to the store and I can get those for 37 cents a can, up to 12. Whole stewed or diced, which would be any flavor combination that they have on the shelf in there that's the store brand of the tomatoes. And you can actually, you can work the system with this. You can have 2 or 3 or even 4 different grocery store rewards cards, as many of them as they'll give you, and you can go back and get 12, get 12, get 12 for 37 cents a piece. Yeah, little shopping. I mean, it's not the most honest thing to do, but hey, who cares? Alright, so you can see I switched frying pans. This is my my 12-inch NSF frying pan as opposed to the 8-inch that I was using. It's preheated. Throw that butter in there. Now you might ask, NSF. It's a industry standard for what you can expect for the quality of pan. You buy it at a restaurant supply store, and I mean, there's no reason for anybody to ever purchase any frying pans at Walmart, at JCPenney, at Kohl's. Those entire sections, avoid them like the plague. Find your local restaurant supply store, and guess what? You're going to get a higher quality pan that you'll never have to replace, and it's going to cost less money. I want to say this pan here was only like 22 bucks, give or take. These ones are about the same price, 20 some odd dollars, and I mean literally if you got to buy them one at a time, buy them one at a time. I mean, you'll see the pan that I'm going to put over the top of this here in a little bit is a NSF pan as well. It was $8 for a sheet pan. I mean, there's no reason to buy garbage where the non-stick on the inside of the pan is going to come off and be in your food. I mean, that's a no-brainer, at least in my opinion. Alright, so we're taking our orange chopped pepper into the pan. Cook that for a little while. In the meantime, I'm going to get this lid open here. That my kitty is going to freak out. She always does. She thinks it's a can of cat food. But I want to cook these down just for a couple of minutes until they're hot. I don't want them to be dead like the chicken, because I still like my peppers to have a little bit of body to them, rather than to just be mush. But when you use a orange pepper, a red pepper, a yellow pepper in relation to a green pepper, it adds a real sweetness quality to the actual dish itself. So I'm going to do these about 3 minutes on medium heat, then I'm going to add the tomatoes. Alright, add the tomatoes. We'll stir these in a little bit, let some of the juices come out of the tomatoes. It'll make a bit of a sauce. It'll go well with the butter. At this point, if you want to build some layers of flavor in the sauce itself. You could add a chicken broth or a chicken stock at this point to this and then let it reduce, but in my opinion this is plenty of moisture. Once the tomatoes get hot, they release plenty of liquid into this pan. Makes a nice little sauce all on its own, real basic ingredient. And then chicken, at this point you can hear how nice and crispy crunchy. I am adding the chicken back in at this point. And the reason I do it in a separate pan is that really I don't want any of the, personally I don't want any of the chicken fat remnants in what I'm cooking. It's not like bacon grease where it's like gotta have it, gotta have it, gotta have it. So, alright, I'm going to bring this back up to a simmer for, oh, I don't know, maybe another 3 to 5 minutes, give or take. And then I'm going to wilt the spinach into the dish. Alright, so at this point, everything's good and hot and bubbling. I'm going to add this entire bag of spinach to wilt down. As it wilts down to nearly nothing. It may look like a whole bunch of spinach. However, you'll see once this wilts down, it wilts down to nothing. So I'm going to cover that, walk away from it for about 3 minutes. Alright, so I have taken the pan cover off. The spinach has successfully wilted, into which it is now done. I'm going to put it on a plate. See if I maybe even got a piece of bread to eat with it. And there you have it. $7.15. And theoretically, if I'd have bought the tomatoes on the 37 cents from 69, that takes it down 32 cents, give or take, which would have brought the grand total down to $6 and what is that, 83 cents, I believe, somewhere around there. And that's a meal for 4 people. And there's going to be leftovers. So don't give me no bullshit excuses about how you need to make hamburger helper or that you don't have the money to eat fresh and healthy. $7. Tell me there isn't a family of 4 out there that's struggling that doesn't have $7.15 to throw together a meal. You know what I mean? And it's healthy, full of nutrients, vitamins. Don't feed your kids processed shit from a box. Peace. Fuckers.